Hey, Capricorn, Intuitive Soul Coach here with your November 2024 monthly reading. Welcome back to my channel if you're returning, and welcome if you're new. If you're interested in a personal reading, signing up for the monthly newsletter, or entering into the free reading giveaway, you can find all of that information in the description box below the video. All right. Capricorn, bottom of the deck, you have the Wanderlust card. This is my Sagittarian energy here. So there could be expansion. There could be new ways of thinking. Some of you may be traveling, relocating, moving, or just big picture mindset around maybe some long-term goals of yours. I feel like you're coming up with some solutions here. You have the conflict card showing up. You have the judgment. So there could be a judgment call being made this month that is going to affect you long term. I also see your intuition is very heightened at this time. You are being guided to pay attention to that voice within because the stars are aligning. You have the star card showing up. You have the judgment here as well. So when the star shows up, this is a brighter future ahead. Whatever judgment is being made, either by yourself, this could be outside of your control, I feel like it's going to move things along quite quickly for you because you've been in a state of opposition. That's why the devil. But this is the start of a new life. Ace of Pentacles showing up here. But you are liberating yourself. You are getting yourself unstuck, untethered from whatever the devil is in your life, whatever has been causing a little bit of this conflict. Okay, it could be competition, it could be adversity, it could be someone around you with opposing views. And I feel like you may be able to see eye to eye a little bit more. They're highlighting the Queen of Cups, who's highly intuitive, and she is all about self-love. And you have self-love and intuition as some of your key themes in the month of November here. And the Two of Cups landed right on the conflict card. So there may be some sort of partnership where there has been a disagreement. And I feel with this Eight of Cups at the bottom of the deck, you may have either cut ties with the devil in reverse, or this could be something that you're going to revisit from a different perspective, a healthier perspective, or more compassionate, or even that of some sort of acceptance. There's an acceptance here with this Eight of Cups, and maybe this acceptance piece is saying, I know what is best for me. I have to choose myself in this situation, even if that means honoring myself and the other person by walking away or turning things back around and looking at conflict from a new perspective. So we're going to dive into health. We'll look at finances, career, money, as well as love and relationships. We're just getting all your cards out here first of all. Now, it does look like there may have been a little bit of conflict even within your own self. This could be another person with this Two of Cups, but I feel like it has to do with staying consistent effort on either your end or someone else's. Look at, we have partnership that's flipped out there as well. So it could be consistency with someone else, meaning if someone says something, maybe they haven't kept their word. Maybe their actions and words haven't aligned. I'm also getting here, your intuition knows something, and I feel like you are clearing up with the devil showing up. It's like you're clearing up any temptations to fall back into a default mode or an old way of conditioning or an old pattern. Okay, I'm getting you cleaning things up. You could quite literally, you have the Coffin card. Perhaps there was an ending. There may have been a loss. Maybe you're still picking up the pieces from something that was difficult for you to go through with that Coffin card. Maybe it was an actual physical death. For others of you, it could have been a loss of employment, loss of friendship. And you have the Village. And right away I'm hearing it takes a village. So maybe some of you have had difficulties with your children even. All right, let's dive in here. Your first card, Capricorn, is the conflict. And if you've been with me for a while, you know that I have a soft spot for you Capricorns, and you've been going through it, right? You've been going through a lot of ups and downs, highs and lows. And for a lot of you business owners or entrepreneurs, you have had a difficult time getting good help, right? Getting people to stay consistent. There's been a little bit of tug of war battle. And even if you're not an entrepreneur, this could be in your relationships with your spouse, your partners, even, with your family members or your children. It just feels like you're pulling teeth here, and it feels like there's not a lot of progress or movement. And I do see a lot of competition around you, or that has been the case, maybe with the devil. This could be a lot of toxic mindsets. It can be feeling like you're a puppet on a string, and it feels like the devil is controlling all the moves. And I see here a lot of fear as well around this. And what is showing up is quite profound, because instead of dropping into maybe a fear-based energy, dropping back into unhealthy, maybe eating patterns or not taking care of oneself. This could also be a default mode of people pleasing, perfectionism, workaholism, codependencies, whatever the devil represents for you. I just see with the star, this is massive healing, and it's right next to the Ace of Pentacles. The stars are aligning for you, Capricorn. This is some form of wish granted. It's a miracle, and there's a brighter future ahead. And I feel like in the past, you may have thought that your dreams were squashed. Like, am I ever really going to accomplish this? Why have things been so difficult for me? I mean, when you get that devil and you feel stuck and attached to that, and you feel at times like there's no way out, because this is bondage. I mean, he is the puppet there. He's holding on to that puppet. And sometimes you just want to scream. He has his hands over his ears, and he just wants it all to go away. And I feel with what I see, I'm seeing movement. And this has been a huge theme for you, Capricorn, for quite some time. November being a big month for movement. And we actually have the Eight of Wands here, which is the card of communication. It is the card of travel, relocating, and progress. And a lot of you have been realigning your life to bring about the wishes, the dreams, and the aspirations that you've had for yourself. Now, your second key card is self-love. This is compassion. And this is something that some of you may have struggled with from time to time, as we all do. This is about giving yourself that rest. And I'm not talking just the physical rest, although a lot of you need that. A lot of you, it goes beyond just tired. It's like you're bone tired, your soul is tired. This also has to do with mental rest, and even a sense of, again, spiritual rest and emotional rest. You're accepting something here. You're accepting, I'm getting the serenity prayer, like, God grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change and the wisdom to know the difference. There's something here about you accepting this peace, and that acceptance allows you to fully move forward in this new life, because you have this big, beautiful life showing up with the Ace of Pentacles. And I feel like you really had to go within. A lot of you have been in hermit mode, or you've been in a busy mindset, and you haven't had time to maybe slow down. But I feel like you are coming back to your center. You're coming back to yourself, or maybe life has thrown some curveballs at you health-wise. We'll look at health here in just a moment. But perhaps there's been some health issues that have forced you to slow down. And I feel like there's a newfound sense of confidence here. That's why we start off with that Knight of Wands. There's a new sense of enthusiasm, a new sense of adventure bubbling up within you. And I see that there's a lot of excitement, but there's a part of you that doesn't trust it. You're like, well, I've been let down in the past with the devil. I don't know if I can get quite excited, right? It's almost like someone who has gone through a lot of unfortunate miscarriages, right? and you want to get excited. It's a huge chapter of your life, and someone finds out they're pregnant again, and they want to get excited, but a part of them doesn't, right? So it's holding oneself back because you don't want the unthinkable to happen again. And I feel like this time around, right, it feels like there is a loosening of the bond, right? Loosening of the bond. For those of you that are into zodiacal releasing, which is all about the chapters and the stories of our lives, dates, important dates, including, year spans. It can be week, it can be days, it really narrows it down. Some of you, there is a loosening of the bond, quite literally, if you're familiar with that, in November for some of you. But I do see a lot more confidence and compassion coming in. Now, we're going to just sneak peek at health for a moment. Please see the disclaimer in the description box below. Seek medical professional guidance if need be. But I do get some movement around the heart chakra. You see that her hand is placed on her chest area there. So some of you, there may have been some issues around the heart, around breathing, around even the lungs. This can be depression, anxiety, heart attack, heart blockages, stroke, things of that nature can manifest as, as a physical symptom when this heart chakra emotional center is imbalanced. This could even be a deep sense of loneliness. I'm getting heart arrhythmia for some of you as well. And when I see the star showing up here, there may have even been issues with your ankles, with your legs, with, maybe even circulation, the nervous system. And I'm getting spasms, like spasmodic, like nerves where your body just starts to spaz up. Okay, so be mindful of those things as well. And I am getting circulation, so maybe that has to do with the heart, pumping blood to the heart. So if these are any issues that you have had, please get them checked out. Okay, now with the devil showing up here as well, we're just again taking a little look at health. So with this devil showing up, I feel for some of you, there has been issues around maybe the teeth, okay, the bones, the joints, the knees. Now the devil also can be about old age. And some of you, it almost feels like you're 90 years old and maybe you're only 49, right? So it can feel very weary, very tired. Some of you may feel like you look a lot older than you are at times. And I see possibly even chronic conditions, arthritis, aging skin, wrinkles. I'm getting the eyes as well. So maybe even like a sunken eye look, and maybe even some colds around the devil. But the good news is with this star here, I feel like some of these symptoms are being addressed and healed for the better. So if you have any surgeries coming up, maybe any dental appointments, anything with the joints or the knees or surgeries in those areas, if some of you have been really suffering with rheumatoid arthritis, or if you have had some chronic conditions, I feel like there could be answers. There could be movement when it comes to some of that pain management or healing remedies, things of that nature. So that's what we have for health. Take it as it resonates, please. One last thing, we do have the Judgment. This is man-made pollutants, right? It's nuclear energies, not to scare anybody, right? But this is about, you don't need me to tell you that there's a lot of pollutants in the air. We see chemtrails, we see trash, we see garbage, we have, factories. There's so much pollution. And if you live in a place where there is extra pollution, try to do what you can to work with some of those heavy metals or some of those toxins, okay? Because this can be waste. I'm also getting mold for some of you Capricorn out there. This can be a breeding ground for mold. So take that into consideration here as well. You may want to get, some of you, it could even be a humidifier or dehumidifier for that matter. There could be, toxins such as smoke or, something within the home. This can even be dust mites. This can be anything that can block or suppress the airways and I'm also getting, again, dental. So some of you, there's something with teeth or dental. I actually feel like this could go quite well for you. All right. If there is fear around that, that could go quite well. All right. Enough with the health, but we do have intuition. Your intuition is spiked. This is also my Scorpio energy, and we're heading into the thick of Scorpio season. This is about paying attention to that voice within. Scorpio energy is very intense. It is very deep. It's mysterious. It's spiritual. I happen to love Scorpio energy. I have a lot of Scorpio placements in my chart, but this is about you getting in touch with you, Capricorn. And if that has been a struggle, this is the month to really center, meditate, journal, get out there and go for a walk, eat, vegetables and fruits and foods that come from the land. Stay hydrated as well. So synchronicities may be showing up for you this month, and paying attention to what the body is telling you, paying attention or being aware of what's going on in your environment, and not fall into other people's fear. Okay, because November can bring about a lot of intensity, especially when you have these three major arcanas, the devil and the judgment. You're making a judgment call, or there is something here of, do I hang on to this fear-based energy? Do I hang on to things that are no longer good for me? And the reason why we don't stay consistent. So some of you, this is going to be important, because I do see the Knight of Wands, even though this is showing up as a favorable energy for you this month. Sometimes we don't stay consistent because the choice that we make in the moment is based on what makes us feel good now. And if we are open to making a hard choice now that could benefit us down the road, right? Or the next day even, or even the next 5 hours, if we are willing to make a difficult choice now, that can benefit us more. So instead of eating that ice cream in the moment because it's right in front of you and it looks good and you just took a taste and you're like, ooh, this is bringing me pleasure. But you know that if you make a choice to say no, that you're going to feel a lot better in a few hours, because maybe you're lactose, or maybe you immediately run to the restroom, or your cortisol or your blood sugar spike, whatever it may be. It could even be, I should go home early tonight and I should get a good night's sleep. But then you have a friend or you have someone that says, well, just stay out a little bit longer. It'll be fine. Well, yeah, it sounds great in that moment. It's a false sense of confidence. And I think I heard Mel Robbins coin that term, false sense of confidence, where we immediately have that false sense of confidence that if you do it now, it's going to bring you pleasure now and then, but that's rarely likely the case. So pay attention to that piece of it, because it could help you stay more consistent and make choices in the moment that are going to help you feel a lot better down the road. So what I see here as well with the Wanderlust at the bottom, Heart's Desire, and there's the Choice card. So I knew the choice would show up here eventually. Making decisions that align with feeling better, with healthier patterns, healthier routines, healthier habits. And I say health because that's a big thing. Mental health, physical health, spiritual. Now, if you are falling into fear, right? If you're falling back into maybe a default mode, because sometimes fear is a default mode. We fall back into that and we say, well, I'm not going to allow myself to get big, take up space, expand, or think outside my comfort zone because it's too scary out there. I'm just going to stay where I'm at. And that's why this Judgment card is showing up here, saying, if you want progress, which you do, you're going to have to make a choice now. It may be difficult now, but it is going to be beneficial for you down the road, because I see the start of a new life. So again, another example, exercising, right? Waking up to exercise, and 7 o'clock in the morning rolls around, that alarm goes off and you push snooze because it feels more pleasurable to lay in bed at that moment. Right? You're like, yeah, I'll work out when I get up in an hour. But then you sleep in and then you're even more groggy and you don't really work out, you miss that session, and then it just repeats, right? But if you make that choice to get up in that moment, yes, it may not feel the greatest. You'd much rather lay in your warm, comfortable bed. But if you make that choice to get up and work out, you're going to feel better. And it's going to set your entire day up, right? If this is an exercise morning routine, it's going to set your whole day up. And all it took was one choice. So there is a message here around choices for you. So wanderlust, you could be traveling, Capricorn. You could be traveling. You could be moving. You could be reaching outside your comfort zone in your business, in your career. You could even be discovering bits and pieces of yourself, your own spiritual gifts, your own intuition. Some of you could be taking a class that you've never taken before, possibly around maybe intuition. This could be astrology, tarot, human design, zodiacal release, right? It can be anything. Reiki. I feel like it has to do with something that is going to better you with the self-love. This is something that could heal you, something that could give you more confidence. It may be a workshop, a podcast. It could even be a book that you're reading. There's something that you are being guided to do that's new, that's going to help you tap into your intuitive curiosities here. And I love the wanderlust because this is showing up as, again, Sagittarian time, which is right before your season. And I feel like this is preparing you for a really good birthday season, basically. All right, diving into the tarot, we have the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is enthusiastic. They're fun. There's someone here who, she's playing the drum there and she's smiling. This is someone who may be doing some ecstatic dancing, right? They could be someone who has these rich ideas and they're very spiritual. This is a fun, courageous risk taker. And I do feel like there's perseverance and dedication to continue staying on that path. So consistency. And instead of making choices that just feel fun in the moment, it feels like there's a new routine coming in where you're going to start feeling that pleasure in a lot of things that you do because you're continuing to make healthy choices. So then you're going to start to feel the chemical, the physical, the emotional, all of the goodness that comes from making choices that feel better for you. And I see that there is a sense of consistency here, but there's a sense of adventure with it because some of you, you've become a robot or it feels like you've become a zombie. And the Knight of Wands is the opposite of zombie. And I'm hearing the Cranberries zombie song in my mind's eye here. So the Knight of Wands is having fun and thinking outside the box and not holding yourself back, not feeling tethered, because the Knight of Wands in reverse, and I'm not getting it in reverse here, but sometimes the devil can hold that adventurous side of one, hold him back, right, from thinking big or dreaming big. And I see that's something you are being asked to do this month with the Star. Dream big. You have the Judgment here. Scorpio energy of spiritual rebirth. This is all about self-awareness, life's purpose. Yes, you've gone through trials and tribulations, but you don't have to go back to that old way of doing things. You don't have to default and fall back on that. And that's a big fear for a lot of you Capricorns is, what if I try to shoot for the stars and I miss and it's horrible, right? But what if you shoot for the stars and it's the best thing that ever happened to you? And I see this judgment call being made here, and this is helping you align, right? Realigning. That's what that star is all about here too. This is about a brighter future, healing, doing what you need to do to inspire those dreams to manifest. Now I see the Ace of Pentacles here with this Eight of Wands. So for some of you, this is actually going to be a physical move. This is going to be relocating, traveling, or being able to see progress in your career, see progress in your health, because you're making choices, you're making changes that are going to help you long term. They're going to help you long term here. So 8 and the 8 of Pentacles, beautiful. There may even be a message. There may be news. There may be communication coming in for you regarding the start of this new life. So maybe it's a new job offer. It could be regarding real estate, land, transactions. It could be health. It could be a new partnership coming in here, or, you know, moving in together. It is something more tangible. It is something that, you know, is trustworthy. And I feel with the Devil in reverse, don't let the fear puppeteer you, okay? Don't let the fear puppeteer. I like that. So you're not on these strings. I feel like you're cutting those strings this month. He's tempting. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look at those beautiful green eyes. He can certainly tempt you. The devil lures us in each and every single day. Stay in bed. It's warm, right? Or eat that ice cream. It's going to taste so good. And I feel for a lot of you, you're standing up against something here, and there's a renewed sense of determination within you. And your final outcome is the Two of Cups. Now, the Two of Cups is attraction. It can be law of attraction. It can be important partnerships coming in for you. It could be love. It could be, you know, yin yang energy, finally feeling a sense of balance, because some of you have felt like you were in opposition, right? With this conflict card, there's two people tug-of-warring back and forth here. And it's been a struggle to come together with a company, an organization, a group, a person, a dream. And the Two of Cups, you see the two hands connected instead of very far apart. So there may be a choice. Again, twos are about choices. There's going to be a choice being made here that you've been reflecting on for quite some time. But I feel like you're attracting the very thing that is going to bring about a sense of realignment. Yeah, a sense of realignment. I'm loving this for you. There could be an important person that plays a role in this next chapter of your life. This could be an important player, yeah, in this game. Let's look at finances, money, wealth, and abundance in career. We have partnership again showing up. You are manifesting a strong and successful partnership. So yes, this could be in love, it could be in business, but right now we're focusing on career or finances. Now, some of you, this is a spouse and there's a partnership when it comes to money. Some of you may have struggled with a significant other when it comes to money. Maybe there has been a lot of conflict over money. There's been a lot of conflict over, you know, career in progress. Maybe someone's making a judgment call when it comes to finances here. Consider having a partner who can bring the experiences that you lack. And that's significant. And I mentioned this in the very beginning of your reading, Capricorn. Some of you have really struggled with finding that help and even finding like a best friend, a helper, a support network, and you have helper right behind it. It says some of your relationships may be holding you back from success. Hello, devil. Devil creeps in. And this could be someone who is holding you back, right? It could be a coworker. It could be a boss. It could even be someone in your personal life that is holding you back from living out your financial dreams. And that's why there's a judgment call showing up for you this month, to look at things and really realign and do what you need to do. Even if it is an uncomfortable choice in the moment, it will be better for you long term. Remember that. We have helper. Think before you offer help. Set healthy boundaries. Yeah, set healthy boundaries, because some of you have been taken advantage of. Some of you, people have crossed a line, or it feels like you haven't received, you know, a equal give and take, reciprocity here. So be sure that you are setting boundaries this month. Some of you are helpers. You are cashiers, sales reps, call center, or in any field where you assist, guide, coach, mentor, or help others. Okay, I'm getting insurance here as well. Some of you, it could be the medical field. Make sure your goals are your goals, not someone else's. So when this devil creeps in and this devil is pulling the strings, and maybe this is their goals and it diminishes your own voice, diminishes your, your dreams, your hard work, your goals, basically. What can you do to cut the strings that the devil is holding, puppeteering you, right? Make sure that these are your goals, not someone else's. And that goes for parents. Maybe you had parents that said, you should go into this line of work. This is where you're going to excel. This is what you're good at. You have to be in that, right? So even if this is a dream that a family member or a loved one has had for you, trust in you. That's why you have self-love. Okay. It doesn't mean that someone was out to get you. It certainly could be with the devil, but if a family member, maybe someone thought they had your best interest at heart, but maybe that was what they thought and it wasn't necessarily what you thought, but you went along with it. You went along with it because you're like, well, yeah, maybe they're right. I'm just going to try that out. And you did. And then you've been stuck in that cycle. Is that really your dream? There's some changes. You have the butterfly. This could be sudden change. This is about creating more fun in your life. Cue the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands showing up there is all about, arts, movement, temporary jobs. It can be creative jobs, making work more fun. And for those of you that have felt very stuck in your work, can we look at it from a less serious perspective? Can we look at it from more of a creative, fun energy? Because when it becomes a chore or it becomes, pressurized, it loses the excitement. It loses the fun. And I feel like you're changing and switching that up because that judgment call, that can come in out of the blue. So there is some sort of change that is stirring up saying, hey, we're not having fun. We're living on autopilot. We're living, on default or as a robot here. We got to switch things up. And it could even be that you take on a side job or you take a class that's fun, that enlivens you, that feels a little bit different. Maybe you take a class that's completely out of your scope of work, but I feel like that's what's needed at this time. I'm also getting switching up the environment. 8 of Wands, switch up the environment. If you're able to shift your office, maybe office decor, maybe this is at home. This could be, working in a different spot, maybe going outside and working if you're able to, or, sitting in a different area of your workroom. I feel like the environment needs to be shifted a bit for you, and that could help you bring in new energy. And lastly, this is like the Ace of Pentacles, sealing the deal. There's a new contract coming in here, potentially a gift of money. This could be a new document, e-document. I'm getting something here with technology, but there also could be a letter that comes in the mail. I'm getting the 14th through the 17th. Be on the lookout. There could be a package delivered, or there could be an important check in the mail or a delivery notice. There's something coming in here for you around those dates. And I'm also getting a long-term helper or a long-term position here, or something that will be here the rest of your life, or be here as long as you need it to be here. Okay. So it's in your hands is what I feel. This is really good. It's the stamp or the seal of approval. Beautiful. There could even be an acceptance letter or, a mortgage that goes through, something of that nature. So there's a judgment call. Someone's making a choice about a career. Someone could be moving their career, relocating, or even starting a brand new life. Maybe even retiring, letting go of, the old puppeteers and moving on to something that feels a lot more compatible with who you are, Capricorn. All right, let's look at love. What do we have for love? Partnerships and connections. We do have the clock. For some of you, this is about needing a little bit of time. Maybe you've been single. Maybe timing has kept you at a distance or apart. There's a cyclical energy around this. You see the hourglass, and it almost feels like it's been flipped and the time is running out. Some of you feel like time is running out. I also see time to heal. But what's happening behind the scenes is you are progressing. Your love life, your partnerships. Some of you, you've went a long time without maybe a best friend or a support system. And I do feel that there's been some endings, some of them quite tragic with a coffin card. But there is a reborn energy. That's that judgment, right? A spiritual rebirth. There is a transition that you've been going through. And it does talk of new beginnings. Ace of Pentacles. This is liberation. Some of you could be widowed. For others of you, there was a very difficult ending. I'm also getting some of you may be in a marriage or in a union where there's been a lot of highs and lows and maybe even death of loved ones or family members, but the two of you are stronger together. Okay. I do see here with the hammer, rebuilding, persistence. We're going to work on this. We're going to do this because this is what we do. This is who we are. And we're meant to stay in this union together. So for those of you that are in a union, yes, I see that there's been a lot of hard times, a lot of highs and lows, but I feel like you are destined to do this life together. For those of you that may be single, I do see that there's a new love interest coming in here. You could be meeting someone new this month. You have the love call. It could be online. It almost looks like for some of you, it could be a dating app, or some of you get a private message from someone. It could already be someone that you're talking to as well, but there's a message of love. This is someone informing you that they want to connect with you, that they enjoy you. You may hear someone tell you that they love your laugh or they love your voice. Okay, that's something showing up here as well. But I do see some of you getting a call from a child or getting a call from a family member that maybe you haven't heard from a while. And there may be a very intense, long conversation, maybe a very healing conversation as well, or even nostalgic. But this feels good. It does feel like family for some of you. Now, I also see with the runner card, you could be in a runner-chaser dynamic. For those of you that have been going back and forth, should I stay, should I go? Or you break up and then you're together a few months later. There's going to be a judgment call this month with this judgment and Scorpio. And the judgment could be to move forward, right? To have a brighter future without the strings of the puppeteer, because there's something that is causing this relationship to be in that runner chaser dynamic, and it looks like it could be toxic. Okay, some of you, this is intense, right? It's tumultuous. Someone is constantly fleeing. Someone is not willing to look intimacy in the eye and give it a go. Someone's running away from their feelings, their emotions. And I feel like there's a judgment call being made here so someone can fully heal. Someone can fully, embrace the new life that they've been wanting for so long. All right. I do see that some of you, that choice could be to repair and rebuild. It could be all in, like we're doing this or we're not, but no more back and forth, no more running and chasing. We have the ability to heal. We have the star here, but in order to do so, we have to release the devil. We have to liberate ourselves. We have to face those fears, those addictions, those codependent dynamics, that we have to face the temptations, and we can work together if that is something you're wanting to do. Others of you, you're going to end a situation because it's not healing. Yeah. All right, last but not least, you have the Village, Capricorn. The Village. This is a really good reading for you guys. If you like this, hit that thumbs up button, please. It certainly helps get the divine channeled messages out there to those that need it, and that's what we're here for, right? All right, we have the Village. And I always think of, again, that quote, it takes a village to raise a child. It takes community. It takes help to get through stuff. And some of you are like, nah, Mel, I'm okay. I can do it all by myself. I get it. I used to be that person. I used to be very independent. I was raised an only child where I had to take care of my mother at a young age, right? And I had to take care of myself and feed myself and do all those things because no one was going to do them for me. And we can start to be conditioned to believe that there's no help out there, that we have to do it ourselves. That's something we play out over and over. But I feel for you, you're learning differently. The village, the hometown, the family, the tribe. The village presents us with a conundrum. On one hand, it's the place that feels most like home, the place to which you can always return. Nostalgia and comfort draw us back in. On the other hand, it's the very place you must leave in order to grow. Around the village, an unspoken boundary exists, one most villagers do not want to cross. Though some support you're leaving, still you hear whispers of doubt as you venture beyond its borders, leaving them behind. The energy of the village is present anytime we feel restricted by a certain group, community, family, place, or ideology. It may have served us in the past, yet staying within its parameters will never satiate our thirst for life. Thank the village for all it has provided, knowing that you will someday return. For now, the world awaits. Oh, I have goosebumps. That's the Knight of Wands, right? You're making a choice to do something different, to step outside the comfort zone, to find maybe a new soul tribe. The world awaits your presence here. When this is showing up as the light aspect, it's intimacy, it's intimate. We talk about that here. It is rooted, it's intergenerational, it's communal. And when it's showing up as the shadow, which I thought I seen a sneak peek of the shadow. Yep, here it is. I'm going to tell you, Capricorn, almost every sign, the majority of the signs receive the shadow. This is also a Scorpio energy here around facing something. And I feel like it's further into your past because you have been facing it for quite some time. But the shadow is small-mindedness. The shadow is gossipy. It's trapped. It's restricted. Hello, devil. Sound familiar? Right? Gossipy, small-minded, trapped, restricted. It tells you to stay where you're at, stay in that comfy, warm bed. You know, you don't have to work out today. You can eat the ice cream. So don't listen to that voice. It's time to expand. Your future self is going to thank you for it. I promise. The village moves with you as it is more of a mindset than a physical place. Remember that. The village moves with you. Returning to the village is as important as leaving it. This can be thought of as a completion or an integration of what you've learned in the wild. Yeah, I'm getting Into the Wild. Isn't that a movie, Into the Wild? I mean, some of you, maybe you just watched that movie. I think it's a song as well. Or maybe you're just ready to leave a comfort zone, even if it feels a little bit scary. If you want to go deeper into the village, you can look at Haruki Murakami's Hard-Boiled Wonderland and The End of the World. I don't know if those are poems, if those are books, so take it as it resonates. But if you want to go further, if this reading is resonating with you, check that out. Haruki Murakami's Hard-Boiled Wonderland and The End of the World. And now I'm getting The End of the World as we know it, right? That song. And so yeah, for some of you, it is the end of the world as you know it. For you, because you're making choices, you're making some decisions that are rooted on self-love, right? That are rooted with you realigning to your purpose, to your gifts, to your spirituality here in a very profound way. Capricorn, that's what I have for you. If you like the reading, please hit that thumbs up button. Feel free to share, like, subscribe, and hit that bell if you haven't already. Thank you again so much for being here and being part of our tribe. Lots of love.